Well, it depends what you're looking for, right? Like most people aren't just looking for like, oh, that's the perfect looking woman. They're looking for some sort of scenario or like role play or like what maybe she does a specific thing. I think that's what draws people because the market's so saturated. Like everybody's doing it.
Have I told you the first time I ever looked at an OnlyFans page?
No.
I was on Reddit and I was like, I don't know why people would pay for porn. There's so much free porn out there. I'm not interested, whatever. And then there's this Redditor who's like, I'm an OnlyFans model, and my thing is I have 2 vaginas. And I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, 2 vaginas. And I'm like, $3.99? It's like a freak show. Like
yeah.
So you'll let me walk in the tent and see your double vagina? And sure enough, two vaginas.
Was it like, oh, nice, or was it like, oh, gross?
I'm in. I'm down.
It was $2 per vagina. That was a hell of a deal.
Saving for her future husband.
That's a pretty.
All the guys fucked 1 vagina, but she was a virgin 2.
It just seems like it gets messy down there with an extra hole. Like there's too many already, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hard disagree.
It should be built more like men.
Exactly.
With a nice penis.
Exactly.
Now we're onto
like
the boxing conversation.
Yeah. You got it right the first time, God.
She has like a doc. Do you know this person?
I have no inkling about what you're talking
really?
about.
So breakdancing was an Olympic sport this year. It's only the host country gets to add a few sports, so they don't last from like Olympics to Olympics. It's just a one-time thing. So breakdancing was added to the Olympics this time, and this Australian woman became their representative, at least for, I don't know. Anyway, she teaches dance. Like she has a doctorate in dance and something else, like interpretive dance and I don't know, gender.
She's a dance doctor?
Something. Dude, legally, that means she's good at dancing. but in reality, she's terrible at dancing, and she got 0 points in Olympic breakdancing. She was the only competitor in men's or women's to get 0 points, and she went up there like the funny part was when she transitioned from like standing to the ground. It was like I was getting down at 51. Like she slowly worked her way to the ground, and then she did this like Three Stooges thing where she was on her shoulder running sideways, like twisting around.
Yeah,
I love it. I fucking love it. There's no one with more self-confidence than Raygun, the Australian dancer.
Oh, I saw it as like she was taking them for a ride. Like she lied and got a free trip to France
like American Idol
for like a week. Yeah. Like, which is also funny to be like, oh yeah, I can break dance. Oh, breakdancing is an event? That niche cultural movement from the late 80s, early 90s? Yeah, we're striking while the iron's hot. Yeah, let's do breakdancing. And then you just get a free trip to France. I hope she had a wonderful croissant as she's like looking at her watch like, oh, I've got to go make an ass of myself in front of the planet. Sorry about that. I'll be back for dinner.
She had these dance moves that like honored Australia. I remember the kangaroo, but there were a couple other ones kangaroo? As well. Yeah, that was
Kyle. I watched it.
You did like an Aboriginal, like siphoning gasoline.
Yes.
I can't believe you missed Raygun. She was like to me the biggest story of my Olympics.
We could all go out there and all just improving, put together comparable routines. Like, and I'm 100% serious. Like it's like she's literally doing the whoop, 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 like running around on the ground. She walks up to the judges and she goes, "Nyah, nyah."
No, I didn't see this. To be honest, I've never followed the Olympics or given a shit about any Olympic event ever. The basketball thing seems like a point of pride. It seems like our game. We should always win at it. I kind of have that thought process.
We did.
Other than that, there's a little bit of that nationalist thing where it's important that we don't get blown out by China. I saw this year we beat them in total medals but tied them in golds. That's kind of cool, actually. I like that. Bet here's what Chinese propaganda is 100% saying. I bet they claim Taiwan and all their medals and say they beat the US because they did that 4 years ago.
How are you doing, Wolf?
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm late. It was
you're fine.
Crazy commute home. I'm so glad you're talking about this freaking topic, bro.
The Olympics?
The breakdancing Australian embarrassment to the entire.
Oh, bite your tongue. She's a legend.
Listen,
Did you hate it, or did you think it was funny?
I would be so proud of my countrymen had I been Australian.
all right. First of all, let me give you some background. I was on a breakdance crew back in the 80s.
Do you know the Kangaroo? Is that a movie mastered?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
I got that one straight from Brooklyn, bro. Like that was hardcore. But Jesus, it was. Listen, it break-in has been around since the early '80s, as some of you guys know.
Oh yeah.
I take great pride in my dance moves.
Mhm.
Still do. Look, bro, I was good back in the day. Like I could 1990, I could windmill, I could. Oh my gosh, I could do a whole bunch of stuff. But it's weird at the evolution of breakdance now because it's so far beyond what we used to do. You know what I mean? Like it's like the acrobatics involved in it now is just ridiculous. But
I can relate.
the minute we get the world stage, right?
we
As
Like this,
breakdancers
of the
right?
world.
Of the entire globe, like, oh, bro, why? Like, okay, first of all, there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories saying her husband was on the decision crew to choose who goes from Australia
That helps.
to
That would help.
the thing. I saw footage of the girl she had to beat to get to the Olympics,
Mhm.
and the girl she had to beat was much better than her. All right. Like, okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, excuse my language, but it's so frustrating because just imagine your favorite sport that if it's not on the Olympics, finally making it to the Olympics, and the one who gets the biggest press is literally the worst one. It's like your drunk aunt from the wedding that should have been pulled away from the dance floor. You know what I mean? And it's
But
like,
she was just one bad representative.
So you
right?
were
Like,
you were
wasn't-
starting that video up, that part of the Olympics, like, yeah, they've mocked us for the last time.
Look, if the aliens come down, who do you send? Like to do combat? They're
China.
they're
Max
about like us.
Holloway.
All of China.
They look like us, except they're Ninja Turtle people. Like all right, they're 6'6" Ninja Turtles, and we've got to send our best to do fisticuffs combat with them. Who do you send? Because I'm sending this guy right here. I'm sending that guy.
You're gonna let our best fighter get shot by aliens immediately in the battle?
What are you talking about? They have no. They have shown up and they.
Your tactical mind
No,
is
the
lacking.
Ninja
You
Turtles
use the
showed up.
Chinese. The Chinese will break upon them like waves on a beach, and we'll weaken them with the Chinese hordes.
Look, when the turtles showed up, they challenged us. They said, "Humans, we notice your technology is far behind ours. Perhaps we settle this in the old way." And they're going to have a gladiatorial 1v1.
I have a better option, Kyle. Hear me out.
We got to say Boagrius and send a big motherfucker.
If you're gonna send a guy
Brock Lesnar,
to
maybe.
aliens, right? Sean O'Malley clearly enjoys the anal probe more than any other UFC champion.
They're not going to probe him, Woody.
Yes,
They're
they
gonna
have you
beat
not
his
paid
ass.
attention to alien abduction since the 80s?
You know what
That's
a
all they
Martian
do.
armbar
rules
looks
in
like?
place.
They
He
put
knows,
things
that's
in
all.
your butt.
That's all you're afraid of. That's the thing you're most fearful of.
I'm not because of the anal part. There was this part.
Is it because you're afraid? Is it because you're afraid
That'd be
you're gonna
all
like
right.
it?
That'll be a brief. The anal
Dude,
part will be-
you get abducted and anally probed, and you tell me, and I call you gay.
I'm sorry. Dude, that's looking gay now.
I'm
Yo,
texting
Kyle's
Woody
gay
to the
for
side.
aliens.
I'm like, this fucking gay guy is not the same. He's not my friend anymore. He's gross.
The
Yeah,
anal
but they wouldn't have
part of
just
the
done
alien
that to you. What were
abduction-
you wearing, Kyle? a nightie and like a sleep cap.
He was asking for it. He was asking
Well, I
for
was
it.
walking around my home with a lit candle, and my bottle was plundered by the beings.
Bah humbug. No,
Yeah.
if they the anal part would be a brief reprieve during the
Mhm.
scariness of an
Yeah.
alien abduction. That would be like, okay, all right, this is a little familiar. But what I always see, what I see in the movies is like they're like putting needles in their eyeballs
Yeah.
and they're like drilling their teeth with lasers and putting weird like things in their neck and like taking them apart, vivisection without anesthetic, like you're an animal on a platter. And that to me is terrifying.
They would have given us. They could have given us what $8 billion in 2017 2% of what we sent to Ukraine, and we could have built that whole. You remember that news cycle where it's too expensive.
You
it's too
leave
much
Ukraine
money.
out of this because I disagree with you on that one.
Yeah,
I know.
Ukraine's a blast lately, man. Ukraine's taking Russia. They have
Oh,
600
Ukraine
square
war!
miles
Let's
of
agree on
Russia.
something, Woody. Let's fucking shit on Taylor.
600
Shit on
square
Taylor.
miles of Russia they've taken.
Ukraine just released 30 robot dogs into the battlefield.
Yes, the robot dogs are in
Crazy.
service.
Now, is this practical?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We've
It looks
released
cool.
30 dogs from Lockheed Martin, 40 mil a pop. It was wet
that how much they
day.
cost?
It never is. I don't know. The drones are something Ukraine's making themselves. Like that's the
Yeah,
if there's
they're
any
doing
war weapons of
homemade
war
drones.
that Ukraine makes, it's this drone stuff. That's
It's
where they
guerrilla
specialize.
warfare at this
Video
point,
last-
right?
I saw a video last
Yes.
week. No, it is not guerrilla. They've
It's
invaded
pretty
Russia.
front line
What
over.
does drone
I saw
mean
them
nowadays?
I
I'm
saw
sorry.
them
What does
blow up
guerrilla mean?
I saw them blow up like a $15 million Russian attack helicopter with a drone. They hit
Yes.
its tail rotor.
Mhm.
They hit its tail rotor. I've never
Crazy.
seen that. It came in from above the helicopter. I don't know why they're flying so fucking low, or why they're not able to detect drones around them. Maybe
Okay.
I'm giving helicopters too much credit. Like you would
I
think.
saw
Toby
a military expert talk about that, and he was saying that drone was so cheap. That drone was less than $1,000, and it took out a $15 million helicopter. Our missiles cost $1 million. What are we talking about?
This is Toby dying in a helicopter.
Do it again. Do it again. I like the fear and
That's the love.
hopelessness in your eyes.
Who's Toby? in this?
His daughter was next to him. His daughter was
Toby.
All right.
Kobe.
His young daughter
I
was next
see.
to him when he died. So incorporate that into your like.
No, I'm not gonna
That's
do
so
that.
bad.
Because I noticed before you looked left and then right, like you were looking for a way out, but clearly there was none, and you were resigned to your fate and terror.
No, I don't want
But
to do
now
it
you
anymore.
have your daughter to worry about as well. So action.
No, just Kobe. Just the one who did those not so chill things to those ladies.
Just the
Taylor,
one
you
lady.
don't understand. He was really good.
One
at
lady.
basketball.
Four
He was
rings?
so good.
Is it four?
He was so good in putting the ball in that hoop, hooping it
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
Ask anyone.
Yeah. Well, don't ask her because she'll tell you a terrifying story about rape. If
I
the-
bet
I don't
you
know if the NDA is the NDA still binding if he's gone. You know his penis was degloved
by her.
by the helicopter.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. No, we saw the picture. Not
Yeah,
the picture,
and I
but
read
like
the fucking. There's a on the picture. There's a coroner's note that says penis degloved.
Jesus. man.
Oh, I thought his whole like lower body and like one arm got ripped off because it just showed like a in that
Yeah, but the
diagram.
penis is
we
there and
saw.
it's degloved.
Oh, I didn't notice a penis in
It's-
the
Oh yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
hell.
there's a
Huh.
notation.
bloody hell.
The doc was like, he's like, holy shit, his penis has been degloved. And he wrote down there, penis found 8 meters away, northwest from body, degloved. parentheses.
Gross 2 underlines.
Holy
So none of the other guys will say I'm gay. at the
Still
World
quite,
Conference.
still bigger than you think.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Yeah, that's
Let's
don't-
hope he was unconscious, though. Jesus,
don't
mercy.
ride in helicopters, folks.
I
It's
think he
just-
died quick.
I do it all the time for my games. Trust me. I'm double thinking.
Dude, you couldn't keep me out of one if I was offered a ride. They're so fucking fun.
I
I know how dangerous they are. Like,
They
I've
are.
been
They're pretty cool.
done it a
They're so
handful of
fun.
times, and every time I knew it was dangerous, but I was like, "Fuck it, let's go."
Let's go. Absolutely.
It's the neatest form of flight.
It's
As
pretty
far as
good.
just visually, it's not the most practical. It's not the safest, but it's very cool.
I got to shoot out of one with a paintball gun, so I was happy and bliss.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That
I-
would be
I'm not trying to one up you, but I shot a real gun out of one, and I think Woody, did you shoot a machine gun out of a helicopter?
Yeah, a minigun.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it was
That'd be
for
sweet.
a
Oh,
G
that's-
Fuel thing.
Hey Taylor. Hey Taylor. What
What'd you shoot, Taylor?
what'd you shoot out of, when you were in your helicopter ride? What hardware did you have?
I've been in a helicopter once and I didn't get to shoot anything.
Niagara Falls was nice though, right?
The minigun was a Huey, like a Vietnam era guy.
I love
the
I love
pilot
that
had
it
a
went from
Medal
paintball
of
gun
Honor.
to like real gun to
The minigun.
But a cooler thing was when the guy was a crop duster. That's what he did, and he landed his helicopter in my front yard and took me out for lunch. That was neat.
Oh,
We got
that's dope.
steak.
Did you
dope.
put out?
Obviously.
Yeah.
steak
Uh,
dinner. You got to. That's my favorite Woody story, by the way. That's the one I tell people when I'm talking about you guys. I tell them the story of you going to the barber because It's so funny. That's the funniest little like. It's like a Seinfeld episode. Like one thing
It's
led
so
to another
funny.
to another. It gets funnier 3 times in that story.
Oh, it's one of the funniest life experiences you've shared with us, Woody. Like,
I think
It's
a
so
comedian stole that story and told it
That's
like it was his
bullshit.
own experience. I wish I
Yeah.
could find it.
Yay.
I've searched a couple times, but
I feel like you've shown it to me, like
yeah.
as evidence.
In fast forward, I had this idea that black barbers were the pinnacle of barbers, right? Like I had seen it on YouTube and the environment where everyone's goofing and stuff, and I was like, this is where I want to get my haircut. And I guess I had seen a lot of fade videos on Reddit where these black barbers were getting it like just it was like a work of art.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shucks, I want to try this out. So I go, but he squares me up like I'm a black guy and I look ridiculous. And then at the end,
Did you get the
I'm
3
like-
lines in the side like Vanilla Ice?
and I came with my son, and after he did this terrible job on me, I'm like, I guess you're next. Like I felt this social pressure, and then he squared up poor Colin.
He'd already told him it was 2 haircuts, and now like after he ruined Woody was like, "All right, boy, your turn." Haven't we done enough to their people already? Get it,
Colin, we'll look
Take your
cool if we both have it.
So that's how I'm so sure the comedian stole the story, because his ended with the same kicker where he brought his son and had him go up
Oh,
after him.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It
Son
wasn't
of a
just like a
bitch.
shared experience. Like, yeah, he retold
an
the
asshole.
same
Sorry,
way.
Woody. That was for the ancestors. Sorry,
I'm
man.
sure I've stolen enough comedians' jokes.
No, he's apologizing as a fellow black man for what that barber did to you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
No, I
that-
understand.
I'm
Yeah,
saying he did that for the ancestors, bro. So,
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing. Anyway, now that I
You
have
ever
it
been
full
arrested,
screen,
Wolf?
I see the hem of his shirt.
yeah. I have a weird story about that. You want to hear that one?
Yeah,
no,
how'd you
I
get arrested?
do.
I mean, well, maybe I'll wait for Tyler to come back. But when I
Call him Tyler when he gets back.
sorry,
It's okay. It's better.
No, it's funny.
It's an upgrade, and we like it.
but
I call him Tyler all the time.
Mhm.
because that's my nephew's name is Tyler and it's spelled the same way.
Is he white too?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So I'm just used to doing it that
Oh
way.
shit, that was supposed to be.
When I
funny,
got
and he
arrested,
is.
though-
God damn it.
When I got arrested
Yeah.
though, that's when I really learned how messed up the American legal system is, because if I had a public defender, I would have been screwed.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like my hired attorney got the charges dismissed immediately, got everything expunged. They took away all the pictures, what do you call it? When you're
Pornography.
processed.
Oh,
When you're
Security.
processed, they take the picture of you and stuff. They go anyways.
Mhm.
So I was in university. I was in New York State, and I was out on the. I don't drink, like when I just go out to bars and stuff. I just dance, and that's how I pick up women and stuff back in the day. So every university has like a street where you have a whole bunch of pubs and stuff, and that's where all the students go to party, right, and stuff. So and of course, when the bars are closing like 2:00 in the morning, that's when all the idiots want to go out and fight. So I've always been the peaceful type, right? I'm a young martial artist. I'm in my 20s. I purposely stay away from fighting because I don't believe in violence. So I'm a very nice guy, but I'm always splitting up fights. I'm that guy who doesn't want to see him. I'll let them fight for a while, and then when it gets getting too violent, I break it up. So I'm out. We're outside. It's a summer night, 2-something in the morning and everything, and some guys are getting into fighting really hard, like they're just like getting into, they're pummeling each other. So I start to people are just watching too much, and I'm saying, someone's gonna die here if this keeps going, because I've seen people die before, and that's a whole different story. So I start splitting up the fight. One guy pushes me a little too hard. I push him back. I lock my foot behind his
Mhm.
and then push him so he falls down. So I just, I got the upper hand and
Trip.
stuff like that. And then one of his girlfriends starts pushing me around, so I kind of move her away without hurting her and everything. And some guy grabs me by the neck from behind, like right behind the neck. And like this was like a dangerous thing, right? So if you get,
Like a
big
rear
connection
naked
with-
choke or like a collar pull?
no, physically around the back of my neck.
Oh, okay, like loose
Yeah.
skin, just crap. Okay,
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
puppy.
Not even loose skin, but like it's a big guy, and he's like
Hmm.
pulling me back and everything. So like I just do a basic martial arts move. I just elbow around and just to give him a nice, beautiful left hook, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I hear the crowd just go silent, right? And I go, "What, did I kill him or something like that?" And then all I see is like a badge hanging from his neck, and it's on the floor beside him.
Oh no.
I back the blue, damn it. I don't like the sound of this.
Yeah, and
Wolf, you got to learn to
and so
comply.
and so the uniform guys just come and rush me, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like immediately, I go, "Hey, I didn't know what was going on." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
This guy's out cold, right?
Hmm.
He
And
killed
I'm like,
Jerry.
I just like I was trying to explain to him, hey, it's self-defense. I didn't know who he was. I couldn't see a badge. I didn't hear anyone else or police. Yada yada. Yada. They didn't.
They were
care.
really understanding.
They didn't care. Yeah, yeah. They loved. They loved it.
Once
And
you
He used
explained
the Black
it,
Panther move on him.
And I even got like in a little more trouble because after they put me in the back of the
You
squad
kicked him.
car.
it turns out you can't spit on
Yeah.
cops.
They put me back in the squad car, and I didn't. They handcuffed me, and I did not want to be left vulnerable. So as they were driving me to the police for the station, I took my handcuffs and I put them under my butt, and I got my hands in front of me with my handcuffs.
So you slipped your cuffs. Okay.
Yeah. So they were even more.
And they didn't like that.
They
did
weren't
they?
too happy. They weren't very happy
You
about
offer
that.
to put them back.
You jump rope over
But-
him again, get him back
Bro.
behind you.
I did, yeah, because I did not, because I've heard of police doing stuff to you when you're handcuffed from behind.
Oh,
Yeah.
you thought
So-
we were gonna do some weird shit
Ugh.
before?
Yeah.
Let me
So
Oh,
introduce
he
you to
thinks
the
he's hot
Sibian.
shit. Jethro, are you attracted to him? No, you're not. Does someone
So-
have a big ego? He must to think that we can only do as well as you. Now we are gay, man. Fair
But-
enough.
yeah, bro, they took me to the station. They, processed, yada yada, put me in the cell overnight. I got my phone call, and I called my mommy, and she goes, "Don't worry, we're gonna find an attorney for you immediately." Right. So next morning, I don't the attorney called, they released me ROR. You know what that means? Are released on your own recognizance or whatever it's called.
Okay.
And yeah, so the lawyer said, "You know what? Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it." And again, he's got a huge retainer, yada yada yada. And so the lawyer, my mom flew down to the States, and we had a
It was an
meeting.
American cop you KO'd?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
I told you it
thought
was
we were
it
in the
was-
fucking
You thought it was a
snowy
Mountie?
north where
New
you
York
could just
State.
kill a cop.
No, New York State, baby. New York State.
Yeah, he would have got a real finger wag in
Oh.
Canada for that.
I would have had to say sorry 3 times. But
Oh yeah.
Second time,
Sorry,
eh?
sorry.
but yeah, and by the time my lawyer was done, he said, "Okay, everything's gonna you won't have a record. Things gonna be deleted," because I was on my way to law school, right? So that would have messed me up. And they
Mhm.
said, all you need to do is sign this waiver saying that you will not sue the police department for a false arrest, because the police officer did not identify himself properly.
That
And it
was why you were found innocent's a weird way to phrase it, but that's why the whole thing was thrown out, because he didn't identify himself.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
They really should.
Yep.
Before you grab somebody from behind, you should be
Yeah.
like, "I'm a cop."
Yeah. And then they even had
That's how I do it.
one of the girls who was from my school, like, actually called in as a witness to say he was actually helping people at the scene and stopping them from fighting each other and stuff like that. Right. So, and my
Yeah.
attorney's assistants tracked her down to find, like, it was a whole thing. So
Dude,
if I didn't have the right representation, bro, who knows how that would have ended up, man. It's crazy.